Hello universe, it is I, SpacebootOne, your old friend, your good friend, your best friend, Spaceboot numeral 1, SpacebootOne. In real life, my name is Josh. We are in the town of, we're just leaving, I was just leaving this town, but I thought it was a good view to have, and we have, I was going to be carrying that so it looked like I was ready to wrangle some cows or something. Because yeah, we're headed away from here. This is the town of Reedville. Very nice town. I love it a lot, but you know, always got to keep on moving. Gotta keep on moving. And no, we're not going to the Dirt Castle, although that's still, you know, in the works. I know the last couple episodes have been Dirt Castle episodes, and I always promise that, you know, more is going to get done as we continue, but you know, these things take time, and I wanted to take a little bit of a break because I kind of had an idea. Is he going to go through? Yes, he is. I should name him. I have a lot of black horses in my world, and I don't think I've ever named any of them. But I suppose that's probably for the best, because they often end up dying. So we're going on a journey through the Nether, and you know, this railroad track takes us back to Spawn and Civilization, but we're actually going to a different civilization. There's another Nether portal here. This is just the edge of the swamp where I can collect swampy stuff like clay and slime and things like that. But we're not going there. We are going on a long journey through the Nether. Now, I have already been along this entire journey last night, and it took me a long time because I prepared this road so it was 3 blocks wide at all points. Actually, this part was already here. I built this a long time ago, but there is a part coming up that's pretty long. It's probably about 500 blocks long that I had to build yesterday. It's not there either. I forget what is that way. It's another, there's more towns that way, but we're going this way. We're heading south, but for now we are heading, I guess this would be west. Would it be? Yes, west, because it's left on the map looking at the bottom. This, as long as, I should be real careful about that. That bit of glowstone is really annoying me because it's never lit up as long as every time I ride by it, it's darker. You notice how that one's like a lot brighter than that one, because for some reason the light decided not to update for it. But that's actually, you know what, that's kind of interesting, because it gives you don't get a lot of chances to see what glowstone looks like in the dark. Like, normally you only ever experience glowstone at full illumination. It's kind of interesting to see what the texture kind of looks like when it's dark, when it's not fully illuminated. So, I don't know. A little side note there, side note. Okay. So we're coming up on another portal. Oh, I guess there's a few caverns to ride through. Interesting sights to see. Not really much here. Definitely hearing ghasts in the background. We're approaching another Nether fortress here. Here we go, coming up to another fortress. This is also, I guess I'll take you along with the whole ride, and also at the same time I can sort of look at the video later on in time, how long it takes to get to such, like, this is about 5 miles in the overworld, 5 miles worth of travel. I need to put up signs at some of these because I'm forgetting. This is, it's a desert island, is what this is. It's a really big one. Like, it's a desert biome, but it's all surrounded by water, and it's got 2 desert villages on it, and it's very cool. Now, this is the new track that I'm on now, that I built last night. So yes, I had to place down all the blocks, the 3 wide on the floor, and then little railings here. It's still, you know, it's not perfectly safe for horses, but I haven't gotten hit yet, so, I mean, I'm sure I occasionally do in my other sections of the Nether, but not here. Okay, running through. Yeah, so, yeah, like I was saying, this is about a 5-mile trip in the overworld. So divide by 8, it's less than a mile here. Ooh, look, I left some things. Less than a mile of travel in the nether. So it's really not that bad. And we're on a horse, so it's going by quite quickly. Just taking in some of the view here, but there's not too much to see. And then we go down just a couple steps because we've hit another nether fortress. These things are super common. Like, if you do a lot of nether travel, you will encounter them so much. Like, I don't even care. I don't even want to go in there and explore it because I found everything I need to find in the nether fortress. I found double, double spawners, double blaze spawners all over the place, so I have more than I'm ever going to need. Although it's a good idea to have some, like if you do a base, like my dirt castle for example, it's really kind of cool if you can have some interesting nether features, like maybe an arena or a spawner or a grinder that's near the portal to that place. Even though everything is pretty easy to access in the nether, because it's all so close together, but still, this whole trip is not something that I necessarily want to do every day. Even though sort of like, in real life, I think nothing of commuting was at about less than 5 minutes. So that'd be an easy commute, but I wouldn't want to do that every day, right? Oop, I think I need to fix that. Okay, you ready? Let's go through. Let's have a look. Oh, this is going to be, this could be a problem, and I'll show you why. Because I built this, I think I did this on purpose, although, it may have happened by accident. No, I can't even remember now. I don't think I did this on camera either. So I think it was on purpose that I built a nether portal way up in a tree, I guess just for the fun of it, basically. We're looking down over top of a village. We have some zombies hanging out there. What I did with this village is I took all the doors off of each building. Like I guess there was 6 buildings to start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I started building another, basically copying that house to put over here. So there will be 7 buildings ultimately. Where did the horse go? Oh well, I'll find him later. I'm sure he's fine. What was I saying? And all of the villagers are in that one middle house, or it's the middle house now. It was sort of on the edge before. So all the zombies, and I locked them in with some cobblestone so they can't get out. So all the zombies congregate around that house, and eventually I want to build like I always do, like a wall around the village to keep the zombies out and torch everything up. But that's always a little bit difficult because you have to make sure that every single square within the wall is torched. So write it down here. I can't remember what the name of what I named this village. I think it is called like the Jungle Nest is what I called it, like Jungle Nest or nestled in the jungle, because it is very close to the jungle. And I might even, just for fun, I might extend this road into the jungle and build some houses in there and see if I can get the villagers to live in there, inside the jungle. And it is like there's more plains over there that you can't see right now. But obviously the village is sort of on this side, so there's a very tiny amount of plains divided by this lake, and then more plains over there. But so that the village really sort of belongs more to the jungle than to the plains, which is really cool because I don't have a problem with this, but basically, like the game by default only ever generates villages in plains, so you don't have things like jungle villages unless something like this, something cool like this happens. So now we're going to ride this horse down, and he's probably going to take some damage, or I took some damage. He appears to be fine. Okay. So yes, here we are. Sun is going down, so maybe. Okay, here's what I was talking about, the cobblestone. They open the door inside even though they can't get through it. And I was thinking, why not go right there? Hey, you can still eat some grass and hang out with the villagers. Should be fine. So I did this little ladder trick to get in here. And then another ladder here. I think theoretically villagers can actually climb these ladders, but they have to be like they don't climb them deliberately, and it just has to be sort of accidentally that they happen to be going that direction for that long of a time, and that rarely happens, so you don't have to worry about it too much. But I am going to try and get to sleep before zombies show up. Hey guys, mind if I crash here? Thank you. And I counted, I think there's 8 guys, and I don't think any of them have died. Like, I think this is all the original 8 villagers from this village. Yeah, I feel a little bad keeping them trapped in here, but really, it's the only way they're going to live. Oh, we have some glass. That's cool. I don't think I'm going to do village improvement projects right now. Because you know, there's that to work on. What I wanted, like the main thing I wanted to work on here, is this is going to become another version of Cave Top. Except that I am going to build almost like a base underground, and that's normal for Minecraft. I've already dug to bedrock there once, but I'm not going to use that one because what I want is I want a nice, very long, steep, not long, shallow, not very steep tunnel that heads into down all the way to bedrock. And then once I get there to bedrock, I want to once I get to bedrock, I want to start building a base all the way down, so I'm sort of like living at the bottom of the world. The reason I chose jungle is partly because I just needed a new place in the world, but also because the jungle has, excuse me, what was it? I'm not sure what that was. That was a yawn or a, I guess I talked myself out of breath. Yeah, I keep doing that. So yes, so the jungle is kind of interesting to have above it all, but also this is where I chose to locate my Pistonium, which caused a great deal of controversy for some reason on the Minecraft official message boards. I have no idea why. I thought it was such a good idea, Pistonium, and I modded it into my game because I thought it was really cool, but for some reason people decided to troll me. I don't know why I'm talking to you about this, because I really, you know, I should not focus on things that are negative like that, like people behaving badly. But yeah, I guess it's sort of stuff. But anyways, there is Pistonium in my world because I get to play the game how I want to play it, right? Here we go. So let's have a look at that. I think I want I want a bigger entrance. And what happens above here? Let's see. Okay, yeah, this hill it is kind of a climby hill, so that's good because I want it. It's not like a giant hill, but it is kind of I think I'm on the peak of it now, basically, which is just fine. Okay. Oh. Yeah, so that's as big as I want it, because I do want it to be, well, here, I'll show you what I want with the entrance here. I think I'll take this. Let's do this. I should probably just use shears for some of this, but I want to take out certain parts of this foliage. Foliage? I've heard people say foliage recently. Foliage. The E sound has always been its own syllable for me, foliage, but I might have been saying it wrong all these years, perhaps. Or some people say foliage, and I think that's definitely wrong. I think because that's just reversing the letters that are actually in the word. So I think that's definitely wrong. But foliage, that makes sense, because some words, you know, they became like that like so many years ago that everybody's like, okay, I guess that's how they became slurred so many years ago that it's like, I guess that's how we say it. Like goodbye used to be God be with you, and they shortened it, and nobody says, oh, you're wrong for saying it that way, but because it should be God be with you. Of course, that's got its whole other, if you happen to be an atheist, you might not want to be saying God be with you or something, or if you yeah, or maybe you don't want God to be with a person. Well, no, then you wouldn't say goodbye. Okay, yeah, this needs to be a bit bigger. I want it to feel like one of those kind of a bit like a natural cave. And I don't know how high I want the ceiling. Probably that's a good like outer limit for it. And we'll just keep on moving down like this. Okay. Ooh, we got some coal. We got coal. Okay. And this is going to be like very leisurely, a very leisurely downward pace. This is almost too steep, but it's actually good. I like starting it here. Also, I just changed my mind about how I want it to be in relation to the village, because I feel like these like the houses all face away, and sort of the village's face is sort of that way, that direction. But maybe what I can do is have another lane come up this way and have some buildings. Yeah, have some buildings near the opening to here. Not that the opening is going to be super spectacular, though. And that's the thing. I want this opening to be noticeable, right? But not like a giant, you know, like this is the home of SpacebootOne and his castle. This is a bit of a different character of build, where the opening leads to something really cool inside, but you actually have to take the initiative to get there. Okay. I think I like that for, that's about as wide as I want it to be. I can't get that. Let's get rid of that. There, now we get those. Not that it matters, I have so many blocks. Of course, the other nice thing about digging this huge tunnel is that I am going to end up with lots and lots of cobble and dirt that I can then use to build things, cool stuff, cool structures. So let's, I guess, yeah, basically I'm digging the core of the tunnel, like what's going to ultimately be the tunnel. So I'm digging that, digging. And then maybe I'll go straight for a little while, because I feel like I've been a little too steeper than I wanted to go. And this is probably going to be a very long process, because if you just dig like down one block at a time or something like that, and you're trying to get all the way down to, like, you know, basically we're starting at 64, a height of 64, and we're digging all the way down, it is going to take a long time. A long time. What do we want there? I think I'll try for an average of 6 blocks. I think that's a good, like 6 blocks of distance for per one block of down travel. And this is a fairly long stretch of 1, so maybe we'll compensate later on by having a slightly steeper drop, slightly steeper, slightly quicker. And the idea here is, like, every time I've ever like sort of had an underground base, like, you know, something that's definitely you know, where I intend to spend a lot of time far beneath the surface. Often it's a mine, but it can be for other reasons. I always dig, like, you know, the whole diagonal tunnel, or even straight down and do a ladder. And you know, that's cool and all, but I want... Oh, what just happened? I should mine some of this coal. I was saying, I want something that feels like it's intended to be... Basically, I guess I want to take horses down here, is what I want. Oh yeah, what did I do with that horse? Oh yeah, he's fine. He's in the middle of the village. Fortunately, zombies don't go after horses. I had a really cool idea the other day that maybe slimes ought to go after horses. I still think that's something I want to mod in eventually. It's not super high priority, but it's also not too hard to do, because you just copy over code from one of the other mobs, so it's pretty easy. But yeah, I was thinking it'd be kind of cool, and my reasoning behind it was simply that horses are often spooked by loud noises, and spawns make that huge, like, squishy, sloppy sound. So I was thinking, like, yeah, the horses wouldn't really like that sound, so maybe they would run away from the slimes, and then maybe the slimes could be like, yum, horse meat. So yeah, that was my thought behind that. Probably, yeah, I probably will eventually add that, like, just pop that into my code, but for now, yeah. Speaking of code, if you're wondering why I'm still on Minecraft 1.6, it's basically just that this is, like, I am actually working, okay, explaining myself. I actually am working on updating to 1.7 sort of on my own time, but it's, you know, it's not, if I do get free time, I kind of would rather be playing the game than writing for it. As fun as it is to code, I do have limited time, and it seems like when I get a chance, it's like, well, you know, I could work on the code, or I could play. And there are also, like, I'm not very good at coding in Java, so there are also areas where I feel like I'm kind of stuck. For example, like, I'm sure there's an easy solution. I just have to buckle down to it, but I haven't found it yet, and it's going to take me a little bit of work. But the pigs, I have pigs in this version. I have pigs that they can eat and breed off of brown mushrooms, as well as the default carrots, and also I have them so they eat carrots, mushrooms, and apples. So they have 3 kinds of food that they can eat. And I thought that was probably enough. I didn't need to add, like, get them eating potatoes, and even though it probably would make sense, and wheat too, for that matter, like they used to. Oops, are we freezing? I think we're okay. We're just stuttering a little bit. I'm rendering video in the background too, so I don't think this is particularly exciting video. I do apologize for that, but I guess I'm doing a little bit of talking, so that's kind of, that explains a little bit, or mitigates. So yeah, I was talking about the pigs, and basically I'm doing that thing where you have a word that you say like over and over again. With 1.7, the code for how blocks actually work changed slightly, and how they get called by different different actions and activities. Different methods call blocks in a different way. So it used to be that I could just call a block or an item in the player's hand. Like if the player was holding whatever, it was the same code. Or anyways, I had it figured out. But currently that is not how it works. At least, yeah, it doesn't work quite the way I learned how to do it. So all I have to do is relearn and kind of refigure it out and just see how the game has changed. And that's, I will say about Minecraft, the nice thing about this game is you don't have to be a programmer. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, that makes it horrible, because anybody can edit their game, and anybody can just make changes, and it's not good. But actually, I think that is incredibly awesome, especially for me, because I'm not a programmer, and so this actually gives me the opportunity to play around with a game. Because people have made tools like Minecraft Coders Pack, like MCP, and there's so many tutorials about how to mod for Minecraft. It absolutely is, like, people say, oh, don't learn coding by trying to mod Minecraft. Absolutely, that is exactly how you should learn coding. And the reason for that is you need to learn by doing something that interests you. Like, you can't just learn something like coding just by doing all the rote exercises and just like reading book after book after book. Because I have several books on how to program with Java and other languages, HTML and XML and PHP, and I have those reference books, but I can't just pick them up and read them, and they're not designed for that either. They're designed, like all coding books are designed for looking things up as you need them, and that's how you learn Java. Is you pick a project and you go for it. So a good as reasonable a project as any is to make your own mods for Minecraft, which I am doing, and I am happy doing. And of course, it's slow going for me. Like I said, I don't always spend that much time on it, but when I can, it's very rewarding for me. It makes me quite happy. It is quite enjoyable. Yeah, so modding. Yeah, so eventually I will get my existing mods. I will update them all so that they all fit with 1.7, and probably by that time 1.8 is officially going to be out, not just snapshots, but like an official release of 1.8 will be out. But that's fine. Like, I don't mind being a version behind, because the lack of those features is made up by having kind of my own features that I add, and I can add in. And of course, some things, like a lot of people have done like a mutton mod, like sheep meat. But of course now, and including me, like I have mutton in my game. But now, yes, mutton is officially being added. So that's one thing I won't actually have to update. Because it's going to be officially in the code. I will change the texture, because I'm not a fan. I prefer my mutton texture, to be honest. I don't like the Mojang texture for mutton, but a lot of people use texture packs, and I already use, for example, gravel. This is the old gravel, but anyways. I've been going on this has been one straight entire take, and I hope you've enjoyed kind of hanging out with me, and doing a little mining with me and a little digging. We didn't get very far. This tunnel has to become wider, and well, that's about all. It just has to be a lot longer and wider. And did you notice, like, I didn't call out everything I was doing as I did it, but I started to sort of curve around here and almost did like an S shape, and then from here I guess I'm going that way, maybe, we'll see. So we're doing like a whole, like, whichever direction kind of fits my fancy. And I kind of like the idea that eventually I'll kind of come back around to sort of beneath where I started, so that there is sort of a faster way, maybe even like give myself like a way to jump down more quickly and get in there faster. Although in that case it might be less. I might never use this tunnel if I create like a really fast way to get down, and that might destroy the purpose of all of this work. Although I'll always be able to use this to get horses down. Okay, so with that, I'm thinking I'm gonna sign off in this video. Thank you for hanging out and watching. I hope that you come by a little bit further and see more of the cool stuff I do. And eventually, this is all gonna be awesome. But you know, it's all about the journey, not the destination. So, well, I mean, not the destination, but it's about the journey. So thank you for coming along with me on the journey. Let's do a little another peek at my wonderful outfit once again. Bye-bye for now. See you. Thanks for watching SpacebootOne's garden. Subscribe, like, tell your friends that this is the best. This is the one Let's Play that they should all be watching. No, actually, you should be watching lots of Let's Plays because there's so much good stuff out there. This should be just one of many, maybe the first of many, but after your other favorite like Etho or something. Anyways, that's enough of that. Bye for now.